everyone, it's Fitz with the Postgame Walk Talk. The Johnson family reunion is taking place behind me as Keontae Johnson played his former team, the Florida Gators. Keontae, this is an amazing stat. Keontae, I didn't feel played that well. He scored 13 points, which was tied for the team high, but he also had 11 rebounds. So even in a game when maybe he didn't have quite the kind of game he thought he would against his old team, he still played pretty darn well. K-State wins 64-50 against the Florida Gators. This was a mismatch from the get-go. K-State got up by 20 at halftime and was leading by 20 plus late in the game, and Todd Golden and Florida kept pressing even against when K-State put in a walk-on. They're stealing the ball from him, trying to cut the score. It got a little ugly at the end. Jerome Tang and him exchanged some words, not really much to it. He was just letting Coach know that, hey, we're trying not to score, but if you're going to press us, we're going to go ahead and score. Whatever. It was a butt kicking from the get-go here, and I didn't even think K-State played all that well. They did in the first half at times, and Marquise Noel was pretty fabulous. He ended up with 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Came very close to getting the first triple-double in school history, which I found amazing that nobody had done it before. We kind of thought about Michael Beasley, and then we realized, oh yeah, Mike didn't pass it that much, because why should he? He was too busy scoring. Nice win as Kansas State steps out of the conference, gets their last non-conference game out of the way, and an easy victory as the Big 12 has kind of owned the day here for the most part. We'll see how these 2 night games come out. Big 12 looks to be leading that, so they're going to win, 5 at the minimum, maybe up to 7, which is interesting the way the Big 12 handled the top teams in the SEC in some cases with teams that are towards the bottom of the Big 12. But this was just one of those games that the better team just took command and took control of this game, and that was Kansas State. And that's really good to see on a special day for me personally, as it was a coaches versus cancer game. And man, the players and the coaches held up signs at halftime shouting out to people with cancer, and Coach Tang and Marquise Noel, among others, had my name on that, and that was pretty special. This is a special place, and Coach Tang talked about it in the press conference about the crowd being just so engaged from the get-go. And the students were amazing. It was a lavender out, but as Jerome pointed out, he's colorblind, so he couldn't really tell everyone was in lavender. It was probably good, 50% of the crowd, but it looked great. It really did, as K-State continues to lean into the lavender, which, as you know, if you're following along, I'm a big fan of. Of course, Kansas State goes to KU on Tuesday. A great opportunity for the Wildcats to go get another win over Kansas. Always tough to win in Allen Fieldhouse, but this is a good matchup for K-State, and I feel like if Wildcats can play better than they did in the first game, which I didn't think they played great in that one either, they played well enough to win. I think they can get that win. But this has just been a crucial stretch now for K-State. They get this game kind of out of the way, and if you're Jerome Tang, you probably should be a little annoyed that this was in the middle of the conference. Your team's playing pretty well. You're heading into a crucial stretch with games against KU, Texas, and TCU. And oh yeah, you got to take a break to play a non-conference game. But K-State rules, wins, rolls, whatever you want to say. Another just a statement game in the fact that this K-State team should be a really tough matchup once it gets in the NCAA tournament, and this conference should be a tough matchup for everyone. But again, it was good to have Keontae out there against his former teammates from Florida. He's had a lot of opportunity to see some people and meet with everyone. His entire family is behind me after the game here. And David Gasson made his return to the starting lineup, played a full game for the most part, and he just really helps K-State. He runs the rim, he's incredibly fast, he's a hard matchup for other big men, but he also plays pretty good post defense and rebounds at a level that K-State honestly just needs out of that spot. So hopefully having him back will be a big advantage in that game with Kansas, because not having him now that they have that depth back in the post, they can really run at KJ Adams and try to wear him out. That's it for this one. I will not have a walk and talk from Lawrence. I'm sending my guys, but I'm not going up. I'm peeling off most of the road games now. as I work on my health. I think I'm going to Tech and the Big 12 tournament, and that'll be it here for a while unless something else pops up. But appreciate you following along. I GoPowercat. Cats win 64-50. It wasn't even that close. It was a nice day to be a Wildcat, particularly if you're one wearing lavender. Lavender's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful.